Good evening, everybody, and welcome to What's It's Worth. We've got the most amazing show this evening. We're here with Andrew Ford, and guess what? We've got the most beautiful Lathrop Ford in the house with us this evening. His wonderful wife's here with us.
You too kind.
Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
And Lathrop, welcome.
Hi, Janet.
Oh, amazing. We've got so much to talk about. We've just had the trip of a lifetime. In fact, I still think I'm suffering a little bit with the anxiety. But anyway, Andrew, tell us, what happened?
Well, this is sort of our Asian Part 3 event here. We went up to Richmond, Virginia. We were all there. It was a private collection in Richmond, Virginia, belonged to a very prominent lawyer in Richmond, Virginia. She was collecting over about a 30-year period of Qing Dynasty, early Republic period pieces of Chinese porcelains, carved Kuan Yins, bodhisattvas, statues larger than I am. We saw some of these pieces, some Mongolian pieces, Tibetan, Sino-Tibetan objects, a little of everything from Southeast Asia and Northeast Asia. We have Blanc de Chine porcelains. I think we probably acquired possibly 200 or 300 Blanc de Chine porcelains, blue and white behind us that you see here, Qilin dragons, foo dogs. Really an exceptional collection. In my lifetime, 26 years in the business, we haven't had this many Chinese objects.
And I've never, ever, ever, ever experienced anything like it. Andrew flew us all up there. There was a big group of us, flew us all up there. And he didn't quite have enough truck drivers or trucks by the time we got there.
That's
I
true.
drove back. What did I drive back?
You drove back a 26-foot truck. We were very proud of you.
Oh,
My wife and I were
unbelievable.
lucky enough to fly, but you drove back, and we're very
I
impressed
think we
with that.
should have driven back.
Yeah, you
considering
should have.
everything we had to go through.
Next time, you guys can do that.
We'll
I'm
try.
going to fly.
I did have a lot of people praying, and the weather was great, but it was amazing, absolutely amazing. We've got clips to show everybody of this amazing
We
show.
packed up 7 26-foot truckloads, dropped off a collection in North Carolina on our way down. We still have a truck there and another 2 or 3 truckloads to pick up.
Yeah.
It's really an exceptional collection.
Wow.
It's been an amazing coup for us, a real victory. Yeah. Everyone got back safely. Of course, there was a hurricane involved as well in North Carolina and South Carolina, so we had to get all the troops out beforehand. I'll save you all the drama, but there was a tremendous amount of logistical maneuvering in order to get all this done. But
2 days.
we're very excited.
I was going to say, not to put you on the spot, but what's the most memorable moment for you on the trip?
I think the most memorable moment was realizing that the hurricane was bearing down on us and we still had 3 trucks to load. I didn't know how we were going to do it. Personally, our staff is incredible. Thank you to everyone.
Oh, yeah, all
that flew
14
up,
of us.
Came up, everybody.
All
From
14 of
Sarasota
us.
State Auction, we had Jack, we had Lauren, we had your daughter as well,
Liz.
Crystal,
We had
and
Mr. Mark from
Liz.
Mars Vision come up and do
Yes.
Yeah.
televise the whole thing.
Yeah.
We
It
felt
was- it was a
famous
great
for a
crew.
day, and then that all washed away, and it was time to get down
Get
to
the
reality.
But everybody was really impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a few people that hadn't met you yet, and they're like, wow, that
Oh,
woman works. I
that's
mean,
nice.
It was an amazing
Well,
trip.
who do you think's been packing the trucks before all of you showed up? I was his mule for a very long time.
Wow.
You're a pretty
Happily,
mule.
Happily, I have been helping for a long time. It's been a
Brilliant.
joy.
It was awesome. So we're going to go to this first segment of this little trip that we all had.
We'll show them a little bit of what we've got coming for them.
Amazing.
We're in Richmond, Virginia. Woohoo! We made it.
That's right. Wow, we're just here for the ride. We're gonna make it happen.
An adventure.
We're here at the Richmond Museum of Fine Art. I brought the whole crew with us today to take a look at some of these pieces, getting ready for tomorrow's collection. Come on, guys, let's come see.
You did talk about that.
6 26-foot truckloads of very important Republic period Asian, mostly Chinese, some Mongolian, Japanese, Korean pieces. thought I'd bring my crew down today to show them some of the early Chinese and Asian pieces that we're going to be running into tomorrow. We've got our largest collection ever assembled in Richmond. We're picking up the estate first thing in the morning, and we brought the whole crew along so they could take a look at some of these objects. Really excited about tomorrow's find.
Quarter mile. The destination is on your left.
We're outside of Richmond, Virginia, picking up a very large estate of Asian antiquities.
Lift some weights, honey.
We're going to open up these doors and get going here. Gentlemen, let's go. Here we are with thousands of Asian objects.
Ready already, or will we get to that
Mongolian,
That's
Chinese, Tibetan, some Indian-influenced objects here. Objects ranging from late 19th century Chinese carved Kuan Yin statues, rosewood altar tables, important imperial cloisonne. We have lavender jades, amber. Not a lot of companies and firms can handle a collection of this size and scale.
We are packing the truck here as tight as we can. Got a lot of weight here, a lot of breakables. So we're trying to get it so there's little movement, if any at all.
Take stock of it.
Look at this absolutely beautiful, very large cloisonne charger. Love the colors, the greens, the yellows.
Oh look, I believe it's a match pair. And look at the signature on the back. These are high doré finished bronze on the back. This one's signed, this one's unsigned, but I suspect it's from the same maker or factory.
Gentlemen, how are we looking out here? We're making some space?
Well, we've dented it by about 3 feet in the garage. We've got another 60 feet to go.
So you actually got to see the size of the truck that I drove home. It was a big truck, big truck. In fact, we have so much. You've been out and bought another truck and trailer. You've
We
got so
have.
much because you've got the Texas show coming, right? Tell us.
We always do the Texas shows twice a year. Round Top, Texas. It's a national show. We get a lot of the clientele from the East Coast, West Coast. We have California, along with New York, DC, and of course all the Texas buyers. It's really, you girls would fit in well there. The women really run the shows in Texas. Men are all second-class citizens out there. So the women are real serious fashionados there. These are designers, the biggest decorators from all over the country. And we have a very large presence there at the show. And of course, we'll bring many objects from this particular Asian collection that we've just acquired. They have all sorts of tastes in Texas and that whole area. Asian, certainly one of their more preferred, themes, essentially. So
It's really hard to play this up, but there's not a collection like it.
doesn't really need
anywhere.
I can say with absolute fact that Sarasota has never seen a collection quite like this. This is over 3,000 or 4,000 fresh objects. And when I use the word fresh, I mean that. These have been in a state for the past 30 years. As I say, she was a high-powered attorney. She traveled often to China. She met a Chinese national in Asia who helped her buy and acquire some things originally. They had homes all over the country. They had a 5-story flat in Lincoln Park in Chicago. My understanding is they had homes in Manhattan, of course, Richmond, Virginia. They had a presence out west in California. My understanding is they had their families in Honolulu. So they're pretty major collectors.
So you're actually saying that these haven't been most of them opened in 20 years. Is that what you're saying?
Nothing's been done. When we walked into the home,
this is amazing.
these were still in crates. My understanding is no one ever lived in this home, big $3 million home that you can see on the video there. And no one ever lived in the home. Sadly, the family passed away some time ago. And this was all in probate for the past several years. as most large estates are. I got a contact from an attorney in Chicago through Northern Trust Bank who said, this is a collection that you really need to see and take seriously. I flew in to Richmond, took one look at the collection, and knew it was a collection that we both needed to own.
Wow, unbelievable. Never seen anything like it ever. And you're going off to Texas shortly with it. In fact, let me just tell you, if you have friends that are interested, just like and share, because people need to see and know about this collection. And you'll be taking it off to Texas?
We're on our way to Texas. We'll be in Texas in about a week and a half. After that, we're on our way to High Point, North Carolina, which is the largest furniture show in the country. We'll be in High Point, so I'll be gone for probably the next 3 weeks or so.
Oh.
But as soon as we get back, we have many of collections today at the auction. You know, of course, we're part of Sarasota Estate Auction. I own Sarasota Estate Auction, Sarasota Trading, Ford Art and Antiques. We got probably the earliest collection of Roman and Greek coins I have ever handled. Several hundred coins from this same collection that we had the Chinese part sale, part 1 and 2. They gave me the Roman coins, which is a real victory.
Wow.
These are 400 BC, 55 AD. We're talking about thousands of years old. It's an unbelievable group, and we acquired that whole collection today.
And
so we're
if
very
anybody's
excited.
looking for any chandeliers right now, tell us what happened. I mean,
Oh, that was another collection. We were on Longboat Key the other day, and we got into a $5 million home, and they're changing the style in the home. So they gave us their Saint Louis glass French chandeliers, Marie Antoinette style chandeliers that were actually hoisted. They were actually on like a system, that pulley system, to get them out. So it was fairly easy to get them out of the estate. Bunch of beautiful French chandeliers,
yeah, I've
Italian
never
chandeliers.
seen any so large. I mean, it needs to be a large.
Into the business right now because of them.
At the moment, we're hard pressed to
We're
move
telling everybody
around.
to go through the other door these days. So hopefully we'll get them up soon.
In through the outdoor, it's going to be for a little while at the gallery, I'm afraid.
Absolutely.
And you're also doing a show in High Point, North Carolina.
High Point, North Carolina is some of the biggest designers and decorators. They come from all over the world at High Point. Thousands of dealers come through. We've got a large presence there, a huge booth there. So I think we'll sell 6 figures worth of Chinese antiquities between the next couple of weeks. And then, of course, the Sarasota Trading is full. We still have 3 or 4 truckloads to pick up in Richmond. We are inundated with amazing antiques at the moment.
Unbelievable. And like this particular piece, we've got quite a few.
Yes, this is, you're probably familiar, this is Blanc de Chine. We have these in Buddhas. These are all for good luck. You see the children. These are handmade terracotta pieces with an uncontrolled slip glaze. We've got a tremendous amount of jade. And of course, jade is a very precious stone in Asia. It has spiritual qualities to all the Chinese. This is, of course, known as sort of a jade stand. And this one is that beautiful translucent color. It's got carved with a village and figures. We have a Sino-Tibetan censer here, also with jade. And the jade pieces were made for imperial collectors, court officials, things like that. You can see a little bit of the silver on copper and all the engraving. Really fantastic pieces. It's bejeweled. It's got 5 claw dragons, which you know is an imperial piece. No peasants were able to own anything with 5 claws in China.
We're opening up craters that have got 3 foot, like just pure jade sculptures.
It was
like
such an
in one
immense.
piece.
It was such an immense collection. We couldn't even go into all the boxes. Bodhisattvas, Kuan Yin, jade, as you say, jade village is carved of the sour apple, green jade, lavender jades. It's an exciting group of things. We're very pleased to have them.
We haven't got enough time this evening to share all that's happened at the store, but we've got a little bit of time left, and we want to share with you what's coming up next, because it's really, really, really exciting. We've got a very special guest with us here this evening. We got Phil from Sarasota
good.
Farmers Market.
So good, so
welcome.
good.
Welcome. We
Thanks for
love
having
you.
me.
Absolutely.
Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, tell us what's going to be happening.
Phil, it's your show here.
Let
Talk
me
to us.
start. This is not my show, but first of all, I want to thank you for, we've worked on this program for probably 6 months.
Sure.
One day, 6 months ago, you and Janet were walking around the market, and we bumped in and started chatting. I know you've been a customer for a lot of years, and I told you how we were a non-for-profit and things like that. And sometimes we really needed financial help and a sponsor, and all of a sudden you told me what you did. And we talked about possibly having a show at the market and
Sure.
doing some things with you guys. So I think it's going to be great. It's going to be
Absolutely.
coming in the fall, and
The show's moving a little bit as far as going a little bit north from previous location.
As you know, we're doing a shift for the market for some construction
Sure.
concerns, and actually when they re-brick Lemon. So we're going to shift over there. There's still a great spot. We have a community area where you guys will be in, and I think it's
So
gonna
we're
be
still on Lemon, part of Maine, and now over
Starts at
First
Main.
Street, correct?
Starts at Main. We'll go down from Main to First Street, and then sort of take a right, and there will be a lot of vendors down there.
You've got a new
Floyd's Farm.
stage, correct?
Got a stage this summer. We built a stage, so we're ready to go.
That's exciting.
So what we're actually going to be doing is we're going to be having the What's It Worth show actually down at the farmers market. It's going to be a live What's It Worth. We're going to have people come down with their wares, and Andrew's going to do a free evaluation.
It'll be a change of venue.
Absolutely, but we'll be using it too for the show. So contact us if you're interested. What number should they call us on?
941-953-7776. Oh, look at
Now, I
this.
brought a little test for
All
you.
right.
Because let me tell you, I brought something that this was given to me by my mother.
Sure.
That was my grandfather's. And it's been on my bureau for a long time, and I don't know what it's worth.
Let me take a
So
look.
I want you to take a look at that.
At first glance, we're looking at a 19th century cast iron bank. Most importantly, it taught thrift. So this was something that was often given by the banks to people that had savings accounts and checking accounts with the bank, and this was meant to give to the children. It's identified as bank on here. It was gilded at one point, so probably 80, 90, 100 years ago, this was a louder gold paint on here, and it was just that. You could see the money inside. You could see the amount of savings you were doing. You can tell by the slots that this was you might get a quarter in there. I wonder if you could. It might probably more dimes, nickels, and pennies at the time.
Yeah.
That was big bucks.
I've just had it for years. My mother gave it to me.
It's nice quality, and I'll be honest, this is still a pretty major area of collecting. Cast iron, it's a piece of Americana, and it's never changed over the years. Nice architectural piece. Great architectural. In fact, we just acquired over 70 cast iron banks from a collection. Gentleman's a money manager downtown. Of course, this is part of the banking community. So it's a great object, turn of the century. My guess is in this particular market, because of its size, its shippability, I think you'll probably find a bank like that probably bring $150, $200.
Wow.
Well, you can retire. There you go.
You know,
It might not get you to Tahiti, but I'll tell
that's
you
a
what.
family heirloom, so
You know,
I wouldn't
you're not
cash
allowed
it
to
in.
sell this
And I heard
one.
you talking about peasants, so I need to keep that
No,
just
it's
in
a
case.
wonderful piece.
But I think this is, we're doing our Facebook here also.
Sure.
And we have 17,000 on our Facebook page.
incredible.
We want to welcome you.
Wow.
And this is sort of something, the thing that we've talked about doing.
Wow.
And I think the customers are going to be excited. This is something fit hand in hand with the farmer's market.
You've educated me, though. Tell them a little bit about, this is one of the largest farmers market in the country.
Well, it's not. It is one. It's in the top 5% of the number of people we get. We did
incredible.
a foot traffic study a number of years ago, and we get 500,000 people a year.
Half
We're
a
open
million people
year-round
coming
from
through.
7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Also, we did a financial study. We generate $60 million to the downtown core.
Wow, that's
So,
amazing.
But
And you do have the best guacamole
It's an incredible
ever.
menu.
I go get my
it's
guacamole.
great vendors. The
They run
vendors are
out.
great.
They're so amazing.
They're the best vendors.
And you'll
Yeah.
see Phil with the hat. He's the
Well, that
king.
is the
He's
hat.
the king of the market. So don't let him fool you. You'll see him coming through there.
There
We're
you
really
go.
excited to be a part of it. We're
We're
really
excited, and wait till the customers find out all our programs that we're working on.
I think there's going to be a reciprocal relationship here.
Sure there is.
We've got a large online group of people that watch us and really befriended us
Yep.
over the years. We've got big email blasts through the auction. You guys have a tremendous following as well. It's an interesting combination. And I always talk about the fact that we're recycling the past. That's
Yeah,
precisely
I
what
love
you
that.
got
That's right.
here. It's recycling the past and keeping these things interesting over the years. So we really look forward to the relationship.
I love the
excited
double-decker
to have
bus.
you.
The
Absolutely.
double-decker
Bus
bus.
is great.
I love it for the
Oh,
coffee.
yeah, you know,
Oh, it's
Amazing.
incredible.
You know what I've told people? It's a great morning, whether you're a Democrat or Republican or independent. It's a time that the whole
Oh, yeah.
community
Comes
can get
together.
together and all that stuff, and we just want to know how much our stuff is worth.
But
You got
between
the
the
right
fruits
man.
and the juices and the fresh fish, arts and crafts. I mean, you probably would tell it better than I, but
Well, I don't know. I think
know.
you're telling it right, but we've developed over the last 10 years to more of a healthier market.
Clearly.
We have wheatgrass shots. We have.
Oh, sure.
We have.
Raw nuts and
we
also,
have,
I mean,
yeah, we've got the guy. He goes to Alaska to catch salmon in the summer and
it's
brings
unbelievable.
it back.
Wow.
So,
Unbelievable.
we've got a great group of vendors.
She talks about the salsas and the
Oh, I love it.
guacamoles and fresh squeezed orange juices. It's just a cacophony of color and sounds when you come down there. It's really exciting to be a part of it.
I got one of our customers that came in to get me. I was working last Saturday. I'm like, would you grab me my guacamole? He's like,
Good.
yes.
Well, we're excited about this whole thing, and I'll tell you, I think the community is going to be really excited.
That's
Tell me
right.
about the Woodstock. We missed the Woodstock.
You
event.
missed Woodstock. Okay,
Talk
so
about it.
last year I've developed a bunch of different events to bring people in the summer.
Sure.
Last year developed the Woodstock because I was at Watkins Glen in '73.
So cool. Can you
I missed
believe that?
Woodstock.
It's
I
great.
missed it. So anyways, we had the Woodstock last year. It was really great. Had it this year. It was going to be on the 11th of August, and didn't it rain?
Oh,
It
did
was-
it? Okay.
And we had people because we had a thing, going that you could come in your hippie attire, and
Sure.
it just,
How cool.
and so anyways, it poured. So we rescheduled it for Labor Day weekend,
Sure.
and it was
Great turnout?
Great turnout.
We saw the videos. It looks
Yeah.
amazing.
Wow.
Go to their site. Tell me the site.
Yeah, SarasotaFarmersMarket.org.
Wow. We've been going on about so many things. I forgot about the auction. When's the next auction?
Our next auction is October 27th and 28th. Phil, you're warmly invited to come on
I'd like
down
to
if you
bid
have
on
the
that
time.
lady that does all those arms.
Oh,
That's right, Hindu goddess.
The last auction
I'll
was
trade you the
amazing
bank.
too, wasn't it? Because we had all the plaques go through the last one.
We had, the last few auctions have really been great. Again, they've been part Chinese, Asian sales, part fine art as always. We had some real performers. We had a big collection of the Chinese coins
Yeah.
and the plaques. The plaques brought about 175,000 for the 4
Yeah.
plaques. We did another 175,000 in Chinese coins.
Yeah.
Part of this same Roman and Greek coins that we have coming in. Our friend Gus might want to bid on a couple of Greek coins. That's his background as well. So
You know what? Even
got a lot
though
of
we
money.
can't even get in the door right now, but what's amazing is Andrew's still buying things. So if you've got things you'd like to sell or
Every
maybe
day.
consign, come on into Sarasota Trading because he's still buying.
we bought many beautiful things today. I bought some great porcelains. I bought a silver tea service today. We've got a beautiful Tiffany and Company 6-piece sterling set coming up. It's made at the Union Square, which was the first retail shop for Louis Comfort Tiffany during his lifetime.
Wow.
Then it moved to Broadway. It had several stops before it got into the high rent district in Manhattan. But this is an early 1860s sterling set of by Tiffany and Company. Typically in the 1860s, this was during the Civil War, there weren't a lot of sterling sets being made. It was mostly coin silver, more like 600 to 700 grade silver.
Wow.
So this was for a wealthy family, whether it was a Lincoln or some major name for sure.
Now, don't forget, we're going to be doing this live show, What's It Worth, down at the Farmers Market. If you have something that you'd like to have valued, or maybe like just to bring out and show the world, any treasure or anything that you've got, bring it on out. Contact us at Sarasota Trading Company. It's going to be an amazing time. Absolutely.
We'll be letting people know through our Facebook and through our newsletter, so we're going to let everybody know.
And we're going to limit it. Don't mean to interrupt, but we're going to limit it to maybe
It's
30,
50.
40, 50 people maximum.
Yeah.
So
Each show.
the first 50 people get in. It's a
Yeah.
free verbal appraisal. So the first 50 that come in, and we're going to limit it to objects that are 2 or 3 feet in size. We're not looking for any enormous pieces, but we're really excited about it. As I say, Phil took the time with a couple of his friends to build this very important stage, and we can't wait to put it to use.
I think it's going to be great. It's
exciting.
I think it is exciting.
That's right. What amazing things have you got going through the auction?
As always, we have 300, 400, 500 pieces of fine art. We've got an Andy Warhol in this collection, as a matter of fact. We got it out of a private collection. It's wonderful. And the woman who acquired it, she was a reporter, and she actually was doing an interview with Andy Warhol at one point, and he sort of snubbed her in his sort of cocky way. And she met him years later and brought it to his attention that he almost had her fired. And he grabbed the menu that he was at the restaurant or something and wrote on the back of it, "It's all about the money." He started yelling at her again. He said, "It's all about the money." And he signed it Andy Money with his dollar signs, which is part of the series that he was doing at the time, and gave it to her. That's one of many things. She's got 4 Francisco Goya etchings, which came from one of the sort of robber barons of the American world. And look at you pulling out this cloisonne
we've got
urn.
so many cloisonne. I just want you to show them what it is, because it's all new to me too. And we've got so much. We have elephants. We have so many different things in the cloisonne. We've got animals. We've got sheep.
Absolutely.
We've got bulls. It's
Foo dogs, big palace size.
Yeah.
This is a type of enameling that goes on, and each one of the colors of the enamel, see all the multiple colors? It was a different firing. So it's a really interesting process. It was invented in China over the years. Little pieces of wire, almost like little paperclip pieces of wire, are soldered to the body of this piece, which is typically made of copper or brass. And then painstakingly, enamels are put inside of these different things. So you've got the blues and the royal blues and the reds, and you often look to the petals to see how finished they are. And you're right, we have literally 200 to 300 pieces of cloisonne, probably more. It's such a big collection. We're so excited to have it, and I've bought a tremendous amount of Chinese wares over the years. I've been in the business 26, 27 years now. I'm getting older. I've never had a collection quite like this, so we're not really pumping this properly. It's probably one of the most marketable stories we've had in a long time.
Absolutely.
We've had them all, from Dr. Roy Chapman Andrews to the Dr. Henry collection, some notable collections. You've never seen Chinese antiquities like these. You got to come on down to the Sarasota Trading Company.
And the things about the cloisonne, if you have children, it doesn't smash. I mean, you can dent it.
She's right about that.
Yes.
Porcelains have a way of chipping and breaking over the years. This one might dent, but it'll make it through a few of those, falls for sure.
Right. That's right. We got some other little pieces here.
We have a tremendous amount of blue and white.
That's Lathrop. Lathrop loves the blue and white. She's been all over it today.
My wife,
Loves it.
Elizabeth Lathrop,
Yeah.
loves all of these pieces. Again, these are domestic Chinese wares that were made for the Asian market. These are not meant for the West. So when you see the designs on these are the designs that are preferred by the Chinese and the Southeast Asian market. That makes them better than the sort of more pedestrian wares that are made for the American market, the English market, and you can feel it by the weight. It's a piece of pottery. This is not porcelain. So you'll notice the difference. Hand it to Phil. Let him feel the weight of this one.
Yeah, let me feel
Oh,
it.
yeah,
It'll
it is.
surprise
It's
you.
quite weighty.
Wow.
It'll surprise you. It's
Yeah,
so
there's some
it,
weight
Phil.
to it.
absolutely.
That's
These
incredible.
are fired in the kilns that go back to the imperial period. Really, these are all the same mud from the same rivers and the same kilns that go all the way back to the Ming Dynasty.
And we've got in the front there too our gold.
Excuse me, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
You're like Indiana Jones. One of your trips, I'd like to go with you. Maybe India, wherever you go.
It'd be fun.
Elizabeth goes.
Oh, yeah.
Janet goes. We
Oh.
get a couple camels.
We
You actually look like Indiana Jones.
You got the hat. He needs the whip.
I think I need to just.
He's got
stay
the attitude. He's
I
good
need
to
to stay in the
go.
United States. These guys will video.
Absolutely. No, it's true. The business takes us all over the place. I'm on my way to Hong Kong in the next couple of months to look at some business opportunities there as well, meeting Asian and Chinese businessmen there. The business is really building. So we're really excited to have all
Just
this
a quick
collection.
one. What would you recommend if people want to invest right now? What is it?
People ask me all the time. I would be buying Chinese, buying Asian, buying good fine art. You can't get her old master paintings, silver and gold. I always like intrinsic value.
Wow, we don't have any more time to carry on about all the things we want to tell you. There's so much going on in Sarasota with Andrew Ford and Phil at the Farmers Market. We're just in the best place ever.
Definitely.
If we can serve you in any way, contact us. We're all over Facebook. Share and like with all your friends. And we'll see you again soon. Good night and thank you so much.
Absolutely. Pleasure,
Good
Janet.
night.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Phil, thank you,
Thanks
sir.
for having me.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.